and they bring up this player, Ennis Rakestraw. Do you think that means anything that both Brad Holmes and him brought it up, or is it just, coincidence, I guess?
I'll even take it one step further. I think you're right on par, or you're right there with this, because I think what happened last year is they knew they needed cornerbacks, and they wanted certain players. I'm just going to, this is a hot take. I don't know this for a fact. I actually think that Terrion Arnold was the second choice. Okay. And they had to make a move up to get the cornerback because they realized that corners were starting to go off the board. So in my opinion, Ennis Rakestraw was always a guy that they liked ahead of time. That's why they were comfortable to double dip and go, well, we're going to take the guy we wanted the whole time anyways. Plus it solidifies the cornerback room. Unfortunately, he got injured and we couldn't get a full season out of him. But if you remember back to last offseason and OTAs and training camp, they were very high on what he was doing there. And he was on a good trajectory to fill in that nickel cornerback role. And I think I see a lot of good things out of him. So I think it's just ultimately the faith they always had in Ennis Rakestraw.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels that, because last year, I was looking through his numbers. I mean, he played in 9 games. I think that he only took a handful of snaps, and he was never right the whole time. And they both mentioned him as second-year players that, like, maybe the outside people aren't looking at. And I think that's why they did mention it. It's like, hey, don't forget about this guy. Mm-hmm. It's not just because you didn't see him last year, Giovanni Manu or Ennis Rakestraw. It doesn't mean that, or Mekhi Wingo. It doesn't mean that they're not going to make a strong second-year impact. They were drafted for a reason. We've gotten impact players late in the draft before. And it's so crazy to me when I listen to people try to label last year's draft. Well, what happened last year? None of those guys even played. It's like, that's because our team is good. You want rookies playing? Is that what you want? You want rookies playing? Like, honestly, if you could have every year to where rookies came in, they never had to play. What are some of the best quarterbacks in the league that just come in? That is like QBs. It's usually a guy that sat behind a starter for a while, and then, maybe like Patrick Mahomes,
Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers.
He sat behind Alex Smith. Yeah, I mean, great players sit behind great players. Aaron Rodgers to Brett Favre. So it's not like a weird thing to have a very good player sit behind an experienced player. So, I mean, expectations for Ennis Rakestraw, for me, I think that he could vie for that starting nickel cornerback position and maybe win it going in it, and everyone be like, whoa, where'd he come from? Mm-hmm. They got all these other cornerbacks. It's like, hey, they drafted him in the second round for a reason. Yeah. It's not like he went out there and got burnt by a whole bunch of NFL talent. He just didn't play.
What I love is you're seeing a lot of video from Amik Robertson also coming out this offseason. He's hard at work because I think he knows exactly that. I think he knows Ennis is gunning for that position, and he has to maintain that. The nice thing is Amik got to kind of show himself a little more because of the injury situation. So it's going to be a good battle, but that's a good problem to have. That's not a problem the Lions have had in the past. So I'm sure they're happy with where they're at deep in that corner room.
I love the cornerback room. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a bloodbath going into training camp in there, especially for the back end. I mean, there's no more Kendall Vildor. I mean, I think that the bottom end, like when you're talking about the foundation, the weakest players on our secondary are now strong. Like, this is something that's different for Lion fan, right? You usually don't go 5-6 deep in the cornerback room. And you're not going to have 6 Jalen Ramseys before you start ripping on Rock Ya-Sin and Maddox. I mean,
can we get one Jalen Ramsey though? It's possible.
Yeah, you could get one. That's one of the. Hey, you segue well. Look how he does that. He's crazy. This is the craziest. Like, it's like the circus wheels start turning a week before the draft. Every possible scenario of every player has been mocked. I don't give a shit about your mock draft a week before the draft. Stop it. I don't care what guy you got. God, I've done PFF mock drafts so many times that I've mocked every single. I mocked Shadur Sanders too. I don't care. Don't care. If they're going to draft this week, it's going to be great.